my drive back home, I would make a quick video telling you all the things to know before you actually get a Ferrari, and why you do not want to get a Ferrari and use it as your day-to-day car. Some things are going to be pretty obvious with the Ferraris, one of them being they absolutely drink petrol. I mean, you are going to drive it and have fun while driving it, and that's going to up your petrol for sure. I mean, on average, you can look at spending about €1 on petrol for every mile that you drive. So if you're using that as your day-to-day car, I mean, you'll have a lot of fun, but it's going to be very expensive. But I think that goes with the territory of owning a Ferrari. The second thing to know about the Ferrari California is, even though it's sold as Ferrari's like GT model and advertised as 4 seats, as with all like supercars and sports cars, when they say 4 seats, they basically mean tiny areas in the back where you can fit a handbag. We've tried getting people in the back before, and as long as you have the roof down, you can get about a third person in the back. But if the roof is up, then unless they're a very, very small child, you're not going to get anybody in the back seats. And the driver's seat and the passenger seat have to be pushed like right forwards to actually fit anyone in the back. So do take that into account if you're thinking about getting this car to carry more than 2 people. The other thing you want to know about Ferraris is that things are going to go wrong with it, and when they do go wrong, you're actually limited in where you can go and take the car to get fixed. Some mechanics and garages won't even touch it because it's a Ferrari. So you have to ideally go to a Ferrari dealership or someone that actually specialises in Ferraris, and those guys are not cheap. If you are limited to going to just a Ferrari dealership, there's not many of them about, believe it or not. So for today, for example, where I had to go pick up the car from the dealership, it was a 3-hour train journey to get there, and it's about an 1.5-hour drive back home. So these places aren't around every corner, so check if there's a Ferrari dealership close by before you buy one, and that will save you a lot of hassle. With that being said, and saying that things will go wrong, that brings me to the biggest problem I have with Ferraris in general. And they don't tell you this before you buy it, you have to find this out for yourself. But Ferraris are known for having very bad battery life. So what this means is that if you leave your car parked in a street or a car park, at a hotel, for anywhere between 5 and 7 days, the battery is going to die. 5 days. You fuck. You're fucking joking.
Five days.
So as a car that is sold as Ferrari's GT model, not being able to leave the car for 5 days, I mean in my case it's 5 days because I have the start-stop system and that uses a different battery. Whenever it's parked, you need to plug the car in because it keeps the battery charged up. But obviously if you're traveling, or if you're in a car park, or you know, there's loads of scenarios where you're not going to be able to plug the car in when it's parked. Not being able to go 5 days without the battery dying is a huge design flaw. I mean, come on. You can't have a day-to-day car where the battery dies after just 5 days. That's absolutely insane. for example, well known for their high-end cars, they solve this problem by having 2 batteries. So a Bentley will have 2 batteries, one that is completely switched off when you're driving it and is only used just to start the car up. So that's a perfect solution. So Bentleys can go, well, just like any other modern day car, really, like 3 weeks without having to be charged up. So why Ferrari on their GT model have not come up with a solution just amazes me. I mean, this year, since we've left to go travelling, obviously we've stayed in a lot of hotels and car parks and apartments with no access to be able to charge the car up. We're on our 3rd battery. As I said before, when you get a Ferrari, things will go wrong with it. If you just look on the Ferrari forums before you buy one, you'll see almost everyone at some point has complained about something being wrong with the car. I mean, Ferraris are a complicated car. They've got a ton of electronics. Their engine is super advanced. So it's no surprise really that there is going to be quite a few problems that pop up. I mean, for example, I've owned this car for 3 years now, and I've had to have the shock absorbers replaced. A very common problem with Ferraris, if you're using sports mode quite a lot and switching between comfort and sports, that causes a bit of wear and tear on the magnetic shock absorbers, and they leak. And that's very common. That's why shock absorbers are not covered by warranty, because in a Ferrari's lifetime it's going to go through a few sets of magnetic shock absorbers. Another thing that happened was I had a problem with the stop-start fuel injector. So twice it's happened where while we've been driving, just the engine just switches off, just completely turned off. No power steering, no power brakes. One time that happened while we were on a bend driving through the Alps, so that was a bit scary, but we didn't die, obviously. So that had to be replaced, but that was covered by warranty. And the reason I had to go pick up the car today was the roof hydraulic system had leaked and has got oil all over the boot, which is great. I'm going to clean some of that up later. So the roof hydraulic system had to be replaced because the roof wasn't going up and down and the boot wasn't opening. But that was covered by warranty as well. I do recommend getting the warranty. Just from this year alone, I've saved a couple thousand because I paid for the extended warranty. So there you have it. Those are my reasons of why you do not want to own a Ferrari as your day-to-day car. The main reason, of course, being the battery. I think that is just absolutely ridiculous. But there you have it. So I hope that was of some help to anyone considering getting a Ferrari. There's no denying that there's a lot of reasons why you do want to get a Ferrari, because they are so much fun to drive. Yeah, I can't stress that enough, that every drive in this car is, when it's working of course, is such good fun.